Hello, beautiful people. Like, share, and subscribe. So the federal government through Bola Ahmed Tinubu and through the Nigerian customs, said they are going to put zero duties on food imports, and they created some guidelines. And one of the guidelines included that you must have a 5 years tax payment plan. That's you must have paid your tax for 5 years. And I think the second one I read was that as a company you must have agricultural land that you've been farming on for I think 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. And that's if you're an agricultural producer that wants to have permits to be able to import some of these certain goods. And they said this whole stuff is going to be effective from July 15th, which has passed us, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. And the policy is seeking to provide relief to Nigerians struggling with the cost of essential food items. They also mentioned that some of the food that will be imported, and they include as the food that will have the zero duty tax, and they include husked brown rice, grain, sorghum, millet, maize, wheat, and beans. Um, I don't know. So I don't want to read everything here. Let me just leave it at that. And they also mentioned what you're going to do to lose waivers. You know, I don't know. They didn't mention any protein food because beans is not protein. But let me just state my thoughts on this thing. I think it's a good idea since it's a short-term plan. Just to add too, the chairman of the Importers Association of Nigeria, Northern Region, Aminu, said that custom tells our members at entry point that they don't have any written communications about the suspension. So that means that when they go, let's assume they have given you permit to import this zero tax food. You will now go to custom. Custom will say no, we didn't get anything from federal government. That means you have to pay the original duty rates, and that is what is causing the high prices of goods. So the communication between the federal government and the customs is not aligning. I think it's a good idea, but the government should also consider that this is a short-term plan, and if not well managed, can cause local farmers to feel a lot of pain and even leave farming. I think the government should buy up food from the local farmers, if you ask me, from small scale farmers. I think that's another way they can do it. I heard that in America, that the U.S. government buys food from farmers, and another way I think they can do it is the government should aggressively during this period, this window period, they are doing this zero tax, zero import duty for these particular goods. They should scale up large scale farming, mechanized farming, agricultural farming. I've mentioned where they should create farm zones so that these things are easy. You see, the essence of the zones is so that it will be monitored, because you can't be all over the country. Which farm you want to go to farm in my village? You want to go to farm in southwest, one small community? No, you can't be every. You should create zones and let it be like monocropping, large scale farming, and they don't need to give the land to one person. Let the communities invest in the farming. Let them have shares. Let them own also lands in the farm, and the government can streamline it to the extent that the graduates from the community who study agriculture, so that to be square pegs in square holes, will manage these farms. You understand? They put farm extension workers. It's like it will look as if these people will be training while they are learning the farming, and the government should provide farm extension workers, mechanized farming, and if possible, give those people working on those farm loans for easy monitoring, or they can lump it as one farm and farm it, and when everybody is well scaled after 1 year, 2 years, then everybody will start managing the farm. This is a plus or minus thing. That's why I say it's a pilot scheme. If they do it aggressively, like provide tractors, and like I mentioned, distribution centers, provide tractors and herbicides, pesticides, and all those things at a very cheap rate, food prices will crash. It's not rocket science. Fertilizer, herbicide, and pesticide at a very cheap rate. Look at the 6 zones. Look at the areas where people do farming a lot. Do the first set there. Then they be increasing, they be scaling it up. You understand? They register the farmers, let them have IDs, let them, like the Bado app, the way they video you. I've mentioned this thing severally. I won't repeat myself again. If you want to hear it, go back to my channel when I started telling government how to do these things. These are not rocket science. You understand? Like, you can do some of these things and it will fail. It might not be as successful as, the theory part, but that's why you need to do pilot scheme. You understand? You can even start from food crops, crops that grow in a very short period, 3 months, 6 months, and scale it up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It's a good idea, but the government also needs to scale up farming in Nigeria so that small scale farmers don't suffer. So that farmers don't suffer in general just because they are not importing goods.